Hello and welcome to the Innovative Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Isolde Trachtenberg. Thank you so much for being here. Today is another Speak From Within chapter day. If you don't know, I am recording the entire audiobook and I'm giving it to you for free exclusively if you listen to this show. If not, at the end of the recording series, I'm going to be removing each of these episodes from the podcast, and you'll only be able to get the audiobook on my website. I'm not going to go the Amazon route or Audible or anything. If you're going to want to listen to this book, you're going to need to go to the website to get it. Alrighty, cool. I'm excited to talk about this chapter. It's different than you might imagine, and it brings a different perspective to how to communicate effectively and to how to be present in group situations in a way that feels substantive and good, even and perhaps especially if you are an introvert or shy or uncertain. And I talk about my mom some, which is cool because I don't talk about her very much. Here we go. This is Chapter 12. Know your role. What do I mean by know your role? Let me give you an example. When I was a child, my family spent time with a small community of friends. When we went to someone else's house for a dinner party, upon walking in with whatever guesting gift we were bringing, my mother found the hostess and offered to help. She became the person who helped lay out the dishes on the table, or she offered drinks. She became a seamless and critical component of the gathering. And then she was busy for the rest of the evening. After one such party, when my mom had spent the bulk of the evening putting out dishes of food and bussing the tables, I wanted to know why she spent so many parties working. "Aren't you a guest like everyone else?" I asked her. "Yes," she responded, "but I'm shy with new people, and if I have a job to do, I have something to talk with them about." Aha! What an educational moment. My mom was shy. Small talk didn't come easily to her, and getting to know people made her anxious. However, if she had a job to do, things went more smoothly. She had an easier time because she knew her role. She could inhabit the role of the person who bussed the tables or put out the food, and that increased her ease and facilitated her interactions with new people. So it's not just altruism that moves people to offer to help. Sometimes it's a subconscious need to know their role. Try it next time you're feeling anxious in a public situation. Find the person in charge and ask, "What can I do to help?" Most likely they'll smile, breathe a sigh of relief, and give you a job. Once you have that job, you can approach the rest of the time you're there from the perspective of someone who has that job. All your interactions can be based on that, and in the meantime, you can be getting to know people. You can connect with them through the lens of your role. Chances are that role will not be your profession, but once people know your role and know you're there to help out, you can start introducing other subjects. You will already have a connection, so the rest of the conversation will have an easier flow. As an added bonus, you bring value to your host or hostess, and that's always a great thing. Here's a fun example from my own life. Periodically, I get to go back to my theater roots and take jobs playing characters for various talent agencies in the DC area. This is back when I lived in D.C. Once, I was hired to play a maid for a 1960s garden party-themed wedding reception. Yeah, I wore a maid's outfit. See it here at https://isoldet.com/speak-book under Chapter 12 heading. There were dozens of characters, and we were all doing something different, but there were two other women, both of whom were maids for the same quote-unquote manner. We were supposed to have some interaction with guests, and we were supposed to be, quote-unquote, cleaning and straightening the lounge while the guests milled about. I realized quickly that there was only so much cleaning I could do in this space, so I was going to have to come up with a different set of duties, quote-unquote. I didn't wait for someone to assign me a particular role. I took one. This was a fancy affair with gold filigree name cards set up on a grand table festooned with a centerpiece that was over 6 feet tall. I decided to take on the role of the person who made sure that every single card was perfectly aligned in rows and alphabetized. When someone came to take one of the filigreed cards, I realigned each one, dusted the area, and fussed until each card was back exactly as it should be. After a few minutes, the guests realized that I was the go-to person to find their cards. I had some incredibly fun interactions with people as I deftly navigated the throng of guests, found their cards, and presented them with a flourish. And then I would align the cards once again, alphabetizing them and placing them exactly 2 inches apart. Many a guest told me I was hilarious as I wound around the room, got the names of guests, made sure I pronounced the names correctly in a proper and prim accent, and then went about my, quote, busyness, unquote, of setting the table back to rights. I studied the table with a critical eye from all the angles and made sure all the cards were perfectly neat while I waited for the next guests to ask me for theirs. The guests had fun interacting with me, and we all had a grand time connecting and playing with one another. As an actor, it was a sensible character choice. I was able to don the cloak of the prim and proper, but extremely competent maid. And as part of that character, I interacted with guests, made them laugh, and still did, quote unquote, my job. It also gave me a way, as a communicator and speaker, to connect with guests and communicate with them in a fun and lighthearted way. All the while, we deepened our connection as people through entertainment and laughter. I didn't have a role to begin with. My first 15 to 20 minutes were spent dusting, and I realized while that was an okay choice as an actor, it was not ideal. Once I had a role, my interactions deepened, became more entertaining, and created a connection that allowed everyone to have a more fulfilling time. Think about it. Isn't that our role when we go to meet and speak with new people? Aren't we supposed to put them at ease, connect with them, and communicate on those deeper levels? If we know our roles, or if we take them on until we're comfortable in our own skins, we can build those connections. And let me be honest, if you have that connection, everything else will blossom from there. Training. By the way, I don't think you have to be a trained actor in order to wear a role. You just need to think about it. You have to flesh it out for yourself. The roles I'm talking about here are not Hamlet or Hedda Gabler. They're the ones you can find within yourself so you can be real while still being the person who knows how to do what you need to do. If what we're talking about is meeting new people, you need to take on the role of someone who's comfortable doing that. At a gathering of friends, you might be the person who offers to pick up drinks or bus the table. At a corporate event, you might be the person who knows how to direct everyone to the restroom. Or you might know the tastiest tidbit in the array of hors d'oeuvres. You will have to choose what works for you. Perhaps you will be the person who knows the program for the evening inside and out. You'll be able to discuss it, and you will be able to direct others to what they need to know. Pick something. You can look at the event through the lens of that role. It all happens when you assess the situation and marry it to your skills. Figure out what will be the biggest help to everyone there, and you'll enrich everyone's experience as a result. Remember, people love people who solve their problems. If you're scared to interact, become a problem solver, and you will be among the most popular people in the place. Mission. Choose your role. The next time you attend a party, whether or not you feel shy or anxious, identify a role for yourself. Perhaps you will be the drink order taker or the mixologist. You might be the food freshener, the table busser, or the coat taker. This last one works great because you'll see people when they arrive and when they leave. This will give you a chance to chat about small things during the first interaction, but deeper things during the second one. Find a role that works for your personality and be that role for the duration of the event. Pay attention to your interactions. Notice their quality and characteristics. Are they deeper than usual? Are they less in-depth? Study them. Become a behavioral scientist and evaluate how you feel and how you behave. Most of all, assess your comfort level during any interactions with strangers. Do things feel easier if you have a role? I'll bet they feel a ton easier. That ease can make all the difference in a meeting, interview, or presentation for your business or next promotion. You must have the confidence to start, and sometimes you need a little acting flair to help you along. Acting 101. If you weren't lucky enough to take a good acting or drama class in school, you might consider signing up for one now. I'm going to offer an online acting course at some point. Actors like Helen Mirren also have online courses to help you learn. https://www.masterclass.com/classes/Helen-Mirren-teaches-acting. However, At the least, you can start thinking of yourself as an actor who just happens to be playing the role of yourself. As you get to know yourself better, you'll flesh out the role and you will connect more deeply with every audience. I hope you've enjoyed Chapter 12 of Speak From Within, my book on how to engage and motivate and inspire live audiences. I love this chapter because it's not something we think about, right? It's not something you go, let me choose who I will be for the duration of this event. And then wearing those clothes, if you will, embodying that role helps you figure out the lens through which you will interact with everybody there. And particularly if you're introverted or shy, this is an incredibly worthwhile technique to implement. You can get yourself into that space. And then one of the things that you'll see that happens is your true self, of course, is still there, but more of you, rather than the person who just takes the coats or freshens up the drinks, is going to come through. And then people who might not otherwise have seen you or gotten to know you will see you and want to get to know you. And that is what we're talking about here. Alrighty, cool. I want to share with you that the episode was brought to you by Brain FM, my favorite little app. If you decide you want to try it and supercharge your ability to focus and to meditate and even to sleep, you can try it as a free trial and you can get 20% off if you go to brain.fm/innovative mindset and use my little coupon code, which is innovative mindset, all one word, and you'll be able to get 20% off. And because I'm an affiliate, of course, I'll get a little bit of a kickback from the company. But you know me, and you know that I would never tell you to get something I don't absolutely love. And I absolutely love this. And also, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, I would love if you would support the podcast. You can do that at buymeacoffee.com/IsoldeT. The link to that is right in the show notes. And it would mean the world to me because frankly, I love doing this podcast and your support would be so amazing and incredible. Alrighty, this is Isolde Trachtenberg for the Innovative Mindset Podcast, reminding you to be bold, be creative, and most of all, be kind. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to the podcast if you're new, and it would mean the world to me if you told a friend about it. Today's episode was produced by Isolde Trachtenberg and is copyright 2021. As always, please remember this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Past performance does not guarantee future results, although we can always hope. Until next time, remember to be bold, be creative, and most of all, be kind.